So, I mean, that's a great question. What would I do with $1 million, right? If I had $1 million, right, it wouldn't really change my life, because I really would stay in Australia for my kids. I wouldn't be running away overseas, because $1 million doesn't just pay everything off and don't do everything like it. So, okay, let's talk hypothetically. Okay, if I had 5 million, right? Okay, so I got to be honest with you. No matter how much money I have, right, I want my kids to go to an Australian school. So I would be here for at least 7 years. You understand? Because I want them. Okay. Okay, so once the kids are off my hands, so this is 10 years time. In 10 years time, right? Okay, 55. Okay, well, okay, 5 mil. Okay, so 5 mil in today's dollars, because obviously 5 mil in 10 years time would be like 2.5 million today because of inflation. You know what I'm saying? So say it's 5 million in today's dollars. That's okay. So what would I do? Where would I live? Well, I got to tell you, Jono, what I would probably do is I would have a few bases. Okay, I would have an Australian base, because I'm Australian. You know what I mean? Like for me, Brisbane, even though it's a you know, Sydney's better than Brisbane, I would stay in Brisbane because my kids, yeah, it's my home. So I would make sure I had a nice apartment or house. I'd buy one, right? An extra one, right? And then I would say, where else do I want to live? Okay, so I look at this thing. I would possibly also buy see, where I live, I'm not far to the Gold Coast or to the Sunshine Coast. So I would probably say, okay, I also want a kick-ass, well, not a kick-ass, I mean a $500,000 apartment like my dad used to have. I would probably buy a house near the beach, because that way there you own your apartment, and if you've got 5 million, you could pay the body corporates and that there without having to worry too much. So I'd want somewhere I could stay at the coast, right? So I would have a house or a unit. I'd buy an extra one in Brisbane. I would buy a unit at the Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast, right? It's only 70 kilometers to the Gold Coast from where I live, so I'd probably Gold Coast. Then I would probably look at what countries do I really love and like, right? I probably don't want to own anything in Japan. Japan's weird, right? Right, it's very expensive. It can be expensive in that. So that's, I don't know. Hong Kong, Singapore is crazy money. I don't really want to do that. It's not really bang per buck, right? I would say, what countries do I really want to own a home in, have a home in, right? I would have to say, honestly, I really do like Thailand, because I lived there for 2 years, and I like the Thai food, right? I like the Thai mentality, because it's not like it's a Muslim extremist or it's Christian fundamentalist. They're Buddhist. They're pretty easygoing, right? Even though it's not like it used to be. I kind of get on with the clique. It's got a very peaceful clique. So I would probably say I would like to do something in Bangkok, because I love Bangkok, right? And would I buy a place? Look, if I had $5 million, I would like to have an apartment. I can lock the door and no bastard can come in. I wouldn't rent it out. I just want something for myself. You know what I mean? Now, so I would probably get something in Bangkok, right? Like a 3-bedroom apartment. Okay, probably $500,000. You get something really nice in a good area. Bangkok's getting expensive. And as for Pattaya, would I buy something in Pattaya? I'd possibly buy something in Hua Hin. Because I kind of, if you're not, see, I'm getting older. The ladies in that there is not really my you know, it's not as much as it used to be. So I would really say, I would possibly, I'd put a fair bit into shares, stocks, and you want a bit in bonds, or you know, sort of like a term, a little bit in term, not too much, a little bit in. You want some liquidity. You want to have some income producing assets. What I think you would do is you would want to stay in Australia in winter, right? No. In winter, sorry. Let me phrase that. See, you're from Melbourne where winter's a bitch, right? In Queensland, winter's actually very pleasant. Actually, it is a bit cold. Okay, so I suppose summer, yeah, summer you'd say in Australia. Like in high season, I don't want to be in Bangkok. Like I wouldn't want to be in Bangkok now living because it's high season. I want to be in the off season because I want, you know, so you'd stay summer in Australia. Then for winter, which actually winter does get a bit cold here, winter you'd go to Bangkok. You know, and the thing is, Bangkok would just be a hub. You could go to Hong Kong, you could go to Vietnam for a while. I don't know if I'd want to own a house in every fucking country, but out of all the countries, Bangkok is the one. Sorry, out of all the countries, Thailand is the one that I really feel attached to because I lived there. I lived there for 2 years. I had a Thai wife. I've had numerous Thai girlfriends, and I understand the Thai people. I don't hate the Thai people, right? Whereas Chinese, Hong Kongese, or Singaporeans, they're very money orientated. What's in it for me, or fuck off? You know, they're very mean. They're mean and nasty. So for me, I would say, look, I would definitely, I tell you this now, if I had $5 million, the other thing I would do is I would definitely go to Europe and England and travel around, right? But I don't want to buy a property there, okay? I would go to America and I would buy myself, I tell you what I would buy. I would go to America and I'd get myself a Porsche 911. Because they're cheap. You can buy a decent Porsche for under 100,000. See, in Australia, you get nothing for that sort of money. I would love to do Route 66. Just stop it. I don't like stay at expensive hotels. Even if I had 5 million, I'd stay at, you know, just normal, best Western sort of hotels. You know, that's the sort of, you know, Holiday Inn sort of standard. I don't need to stay fancy wancy because I just don't like to waste money. You know, I like to do something constructive with money, like buy watches. You know. But I tell you now, I would fucking, I would really, I reckon as a base, what countries would I really want? I mean, I would want, I reckon, I still want to stay in Brisbane, right? And I still would like to, I might even buy, if you had 5 million, I could buy a nice apartment in Sydney or Melbourne, in the city. Actually, what do I prefer? I like Sydney. Sydney's good if you're rich. If you're poor, it's a horrible place to be. If you're rich, Sydney's an amazing place to be, okay? No. No, Sydney's mean. Sydney's mean as cat shit. They're mean as cat shit there. Mind you, you don't have the Sudanese problem in Sydney as bad as Melbourne. See, that really worries me now. There's too many, you know, those Africans that are causing home robberies, carjackings. That really is getting out of hand, I think. I don't know why they don't do something about that. That's just crazy. That's not being racist. I'm just telling you the truth. It's fucking dangerous. Some of these suburbs, people are too scared to go out to restaurants because it's so dangerous. But I got to tell you, I reckon myself, I'd stay Brisbane. I want to own a good home in Brisbane, a good home at the apartment at the Gold Coast so you can lock it up and fuck off. Possibly an apartment in Sydney or Melbourne, just one of those, not both. I would Bangkok, yes, and maybe Hua Hin, you know. I actually, tell you the truth, I think I would buy an apartment in Bangkok. But I don't need one in Hua Hin or Pattaya because you can move around, you can lease. As long as you have money, You can always rent something cheap, but it's good to have a Bangkok base because you land at the airport, land in Bangkok, then you go to your apartment, you can open your door and have a bit of a relax for a few days, then you decide where you want to go, don't you think? But I reckon Thailand is the only country that I really would have as a base. Hong Kong is too expensive, Singapore is expensive, Vietnam is a bit too, it's not, you know, I love Vietnam, but I would make Thailand. Thailand's right in the middle of Asia. Because I would really want to travel to Chiang Mai. I want to see that. I want to see, you know, there's so much places. You can catch a train from Bangkok, you've been on it, to fucking Kuala Lumpur. So it's really, it's sort of the center of Asia. You know what I mean? So I've got to tell you, Bangkok is the winner. That is where my base, my base away from home. Everywhere else isn't important.
Okay.
Dear F169bbs.com posters, I just wanted to congratulate you on having a YouTube celebrity, luxury goods guru and travel expert like ArchieLuxury on your site. He's a masculine, sexy and successful man. Be proud to have him on your site. The last bastion of free speech in the